Hey guys, it's a pretty dreary day here at the moment, but I just thought I'd do a video on something a few people might find interesting. So recently, when I say recently, a few weeks ago, I purchased an E90 BMW, which is a 3 Series, 2008 model, and it's a 320i, so it's a 2-litre 4-cylinder. The old Jackaroo that I had, which is, for those that aren't from Australia, it's an Isuzu Trooper. That was just dying on me, and I've still got it to use it to pull caravans around occasionally, but I was just having too many issues driving it around regularly. So anyway, I was looking for a while, and then this car came up, and it was a really good deal. I thought either it was going to be really dodgy and I bought something terrible, or it was going to be just a lucky deal for the price. But yeah, let me show you around. And hopefully this will give you a bit of an idea. I have been driving it a lot over the last the last few weeks since I've owned it. Alright, so this is the car. It's in pretty good condition for a 15-year-old car. It's got the individual spec or individual package on it. And I'm not a BMW sort of fanatic, so I don't know a huge amount about it, but I believe it's got individual paint. So it's you can choose a number of different paint colours. It's got an individual interior, which I'll show you in a second. But in terms of exterior looks, for a car that's made in 2008, it still holds up pretty well, in my opinion. I haven't given it a clean before doing the video. No, I'm just on my way back from work at the moment, so I thought I'd just take the opportunity to stop for a little bit. Hopefully, if this camera goes out far enough, you'll be able to get a proper look. I don't know if they're the stock alloy wheels that came with the car or not. I believe they probably are. You can see it's a 320. So I don't know the power figures off the top of my head for the motor. It's definitely not a race car, but it does handle quite well. Okay, let's have a look inside the car. Right, before I have a look inside the car, I should probably point something out. I don't know if this came on this particular model being an individual spec model or not. It does have keyless entry. So at the moment it's actually unlocked. But if you have the keys on you, push down in there. Don't know if you can see through there, but that locks the vehicle. And then you just got to have your keys on you, put your hand in there, and you can open it up. That also, each door handle has, I believe they're called puddle lights, welcome lights, but you can see a little bit there. They illuminate at night, and it's just a nice touch. Definitely wouldn't buy the car because of that, but yeah, it's kind of nice to have. So hopefully here you can see the interior. So I believe part of the individual spec with this is the black trim that runs along here. There's also a dark ceiling liner, and then you got BMW individual. Come on, camera. I don't know if it's going to be able to show you, but it's got BMW individual badging in a few different places. So the only reason I mention that is that the vehicle may have a few things which an ordinary E90 might not. So as you can see, the interior, I reckon it's pretty nice. I mean, for a 2008 model car, you can't really ask for too much better than that. I think about the only thing it doesn't have is heated seats, but you know, being in Australia, I don't think I particularly want that anyway. Alright, so here's the back seat. You got 3 individual headrests. The back seat's quite comfortable. I'm 6'1", around about there, and I can sit in it quite comfortably, no issues whatsoever. You've got air conditioning in the back and a little slot there. We don't generally have people in the back of the car unless I'm driving people around for work at all. But yeah, that's probably about all I can show you in here. The back's fairly basic. Obviously, you've still got electric windows. You do have individual map lights, which this camera may not show you. And on the back of the seats, it's sort of this hard material, probably plasticky sort of material. Then you've got these map pockets. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There is an armrest in the back. I should probably mention that. I haven't really had to use that yet. There we go. That just pops out, and you got some cup holders in there, which is quite handy if you've got a couple of adults in the back. All right, we're inside the car now. It's probably where most of the action happens, so to speak. So I'll see if I can give you a bit of a view of the interior. What I might do is actually go ahead and start the car. So with most of these E90s, you've got a key here, which you insert into the dashboard. Then you put your foot on the brake, and you've got a stop-start button there. With this one in particular, again, I don't know if this is a feature of the individual pack. You don't actually need that in at all, so it does actually have keyless start if you want to, so you can just have that in your pocket. Kind of a neat feature to have. Again, I wouldn't purchase a car because of it, but you know, the fact that it's there is kind of nice. It's going through its standard startup. So there's a couple of things on here which I haven't looked at yet. There's a front park light out that came on recently. I believe that can be a bit of a pain in these to do. You've actually got to take the wheel off to get to the back of the headlights to change the halogen over. So that could be a little bit interesting. And this other one here, cornering lights failure. That's essentially the headlights that will follow your steering wheel. So if you turn your steering wheel to the right, the headlights will sort of move to the right to follow around the corner. But as I said, it's very clean in here, especially for a 2008 model car. It has the I don't know if it's the original iDrive. It is the older version though, I believe. There's a facelift in 2008, which did give you a newer version of iDrive. iDrive being BMW's entertainment onboard sort of computer system. And it does seem to work quite well. I'm just using it with an FM transmitter at the moment. It does have Bluetooth. Like you can connect your phone to it via Bluetooth for calls, so you got hands-free calling, but it doesn't actually have hands-free audio. So I don't know why that is. I think it was just the age of the car. But hasn't really been an issue. There is something that you can purchase that will allow you to do that. I just haven't really had the time or the interest, to be honest, to look at doing that. In terms of the sound system, it's quite nice. Coming from the old car that I had, which is a 1999 model, that's definitely a big upgrade. I believe it's got the stock speakers in it, and yeah, they're quite good. I probably won't show you on here just because it's not going to really show you very well through this phone camera. So looking down from the iDrive, obviously you got your air conditioning vents, dynamic traction control, and this here changes these vents in particular from hot to cold. So you can have your, as an example, you can have your feet on warm if it's cold day, but you don't want to be falling asleep. You can change this over to cold, and then it'll sort of stop you falling asleep. As such, it'll blow cold air on your face. Down here you've got your dual zone climate control. I don't know in Australia what options you got with that. I can only really comment on this one. This one works quite well. Everything's sort of automatic. You can just hit auto there, and it'll adjust everything for you. It's on 16 at the moment, so it's nice and cool. Then you've also got different programs that come on up here, but I'll turn that down at the moment. And then underneath here, you've got a CD player, which I haven't used at all. You've got a volume knob for when you're playing music. I would use what's on the steering wheel normally. So yeah, that's about that for the center. If we look up, you can probably see the top of my head there, unfortunately. So the mirror is actually, don't know if you'll be able to see there, it's got a sensor in it. I did actually used to have a BMW E39 5 Series, which had the same type setup, and it automatically dims the mirror if you've got bright lights behind you, which again isn't, it's a bit of a luxury feature. It does work okay, but I wouldn't buy a car because of it. Then up here you've got your sunroof. If this camera will focus. Come on. I really should work on getting a better camera. There we go. So if you push it forward, if you push it up, then the back will go up there just to let a bit of air in, which you can do even if it's raining. And then if you hit backwards, obviously the sunroof will open up. And I will admit it's very nice having the sunroof. So I'll close that up for now because it is a bit wet outside. But yeah, it's definitely quite a nice feature to have. I did actually miss that in the old BMW that I had. All right. So on the dashboard here, the display is quite clear. It's analog. Obviously, the gauge is analog. You got a couple of warning lights for the brake, a handbrake, and seatbelts. I don't have that on. There's also an emissions light on there. There's a error with the sensor, which you've got to have a look at. It doesn't actually affect it running at all, thankfully. But I just have to get it fixed at some stage. That's one of the things with buying these old BMWs. They've got sensors for everything. It can be quite a good thing, but also, constantly telling you that you've got a park light out can get a little bit annoying. I will admit. So looking down the side here, we've got automatic headlights, which is what that's set on at the moment. Then you got fog lights, and then your mirror controls and electric windows. You do also have automatic windscreen wipers. So all you got to do is hit that once, that light will come on, and that's set to automatic. And you pretty much don't have to touch it. You can just drive the car. Headlights are automatic. Windscreen wipers are automatic. So yeah, it's pretty easy. Don't know if I can't really show you down the side too easily. So the car itself is the transmission itself. is a 6-speed automatic. I believe they use the same transmissions in all the 3 series, maybe apart from an M3. The transmission's really nice. It's also got Tiptronic, so you can change up and down gears yourself, and it's also got sport mode. So yeah, I'm used to driving manual. I do prefer manual generally, but I will say that this automatic box is quite nice. It changes quite well. It's quite responsive, especially for a 2-litre, and hopefully I can show you that soon. Probably about the only other thing to show you at the moment is the center console here. So you do have an armrest that comes forward. Maybe put that down, it'll help. There's not too much to say about that. It works okay. Then you got a button here. Push that up, and over here you've got an auxiliary input. You got a USB under this. It's not really going to show you, but there's a little flap there that moves to the side, and then you get a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug. And interestingly, in here you also got a drink cooler, and I haven't tested it yet. I believe it works off the air conditioning, so it blows cold air through there, and you've got a little button there to turn it on and off. Maybe if you have one of these and you've tested it, if you put a comment in the comments, let me know how it works. Yeah, it'll be interesting to know. I will admit I don't know what this button does. I've pressed it a couple of times and it doesn't really seem to do much, so I'll have to look at the manual for that. But yeah, alright, well, let's take this thing for a bit of a drive and hopefully show you how it drives. Okay, sorry for the camera angle, guys. It's got my camera on a dash camera mount, so obviously I can't touch it while we're driving. But hopefully I'll be able to sort of portray what it's like. You'll be able to see what it's like driving this. So we'll take off and I'll go for a quick drive. I do need to get some new windscreen wiper blades at some stage. Just adjust the mister. Since we've been sitting in here for a bit. Okay. So just taking off fairly gently. It's really smooth. One thing I've noticed is the suspension in this is fantastic. I don't know if it's been replaced in its lifetime. I do actually have the service book which has most of its history. I do know that one of the struts has been replaced in the last year due to a large pothole that the previous owner apparently hit. So I'm being told. So we've got a bit of a windy road here. This thing handles corners really well. It's sort of like driving a go-kart in a way. You know, you are sitting fairly low. The seats are quite hugging, for lack of a better term, and it's sorry, I keep getting notifications. And yeah, you don't really have much body roll at all. In terms of how quiet it is, I'll see if I can turn the aircon off for a second and give you a bit of a close that and give you a bit of a listen. So I wouldn't say it's quite as quiet as the 535 that I used to have, but in its defence, that did used to have double glazed windows, which this doesn't. But it's still very good, even on the freeway. It's really aerodynamic, so yeah, there's no issues there. The steering's quite responsive, and if I put it in sports mode, I'm going to be doing 60 at the moment. The speed limit here is 80. You can hear it pick up there. There we go, 80. I would like to do a 0 to 100 test with it at some stage. I have done one where it was legal to do it, and it's a bit under 10 seconds, I believe it was, up to 100, which is not too bad. As I said, it's it's definitely not quick when you compare it to an M3 or a faster BMW. But that's not really the point of the car. It's just meant to be a nice run around. So I guess all in all, to wrap up the video, hopefully I've given you a little bit of information about it if you're looking to buy one of these cars. The only other reviews I could sort of find were in the UK, and they got different spec models over there, so I thought it would be a good idea just to do something in Australia for people that are interested in buying one. From all the experience I've had so far, I'd say definitely go for it. I've loved the car since I've had it. It's been great. It's great on fuel. You can do, if you really push it, I think you can do 1,000 kilometers to a 60-litre tank, which is pretty good. I would check the service history of the car, if you specifically the 320 or 318, if you're going to purchase them. I've been told that you can have issues with the motors, and I'm not a mechanic. I do have a bit of an understanding of it, but I believe it's valve guides and timing chains and stuff like that are known to sort of go on the car, or on the motor, the four-cylinder motors. So it's probably a good idea if you are looking to get one to do a good inspection before you purchase it. I did do that, and I was still a little bit reluctant. But once I actually purchased it, I haven't looked back. It's been great. If you got any questions, guys, post them below. I'm more than happy to answer anything. If you want to see anything in particular with the car or something I missed, as I said, it's only on the fly sort of review, and I don't have the best camera. But yeah, hopefully that'll help. Righto. I'll have to cut the video out now, guys, and I'll stop it when we stop. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Alright, ciao.